A mature man was considering going hunting on a frosty fall morning. It was the night before the hunting season began, and alone in his house that man was dozing and dreaming of hunting deer and grouse with his trusty bitch Meg bounding by his side and begging him to shoot before the moon calls up high tide again. When our lives have become a bore as we limp toward death's door with our walkers, we follow our beloveds like a stalker of our youth, leaving our sweet paradise that altered our youthful caprice toward our final rest. Unless we fail our final test as we go toward our final rest, may we find the strength to go on alone, to do our best. Old Meg. First frost broke on the bough at dawn and caught me limping to the barn to hay the milkers, and I saw the bevy, too, alight from scratching corn and husks in the barnyard stalls. I, too, took mine to make them sport. Sorry, Meg. Not this fall. You and I, old girl, have tracked a lot since Big Jed studded the good bitch lass and you came a pup so full of sass in early spring. While spring yet flowed through my taut legs, odd 13 years ago. And each first frost we hit the trail as long as spring was in my legs. But sorry, Meg, not this fall. You know, last fall when first frost lit and charred the golden leaves, you whimpered on our kitchen door and begged me rise from my warm bed to brace against the whirlwind of snow and leaves and words, then cold against my Mary's pleas, like crusty ice upon the bucket in the well, my heart set hard, and words were crisp, and set against my love. Then I arose and took my shotgun from the mantel shelf, and loaded down my powder pouch with powder, tobacco, lead, and knife. Then we set upon the trail, although my spindly legs could barely get around the nearest hill. Still, we went on until I spent my all. But sorry, Meg, not this fall. Lying cripple-legged, I spent a day in rugged country, almost dead, until you fetched the neighbors to lift me from my thicket bed. That's quite enough for one long life and for one old man who for many days laid in bed nearly dead and heard the missus tread the crunchy snow to herd the cattle to the barn for milking with her cold arthritic hands. She nursed me, too, with her cold, callous, and arthritic hands, but never cursed me with her soft, warm, considerate heart, until, toward Christmas time, she, too, took ill, insisting I remain in bed to regain my strength. There'd be time for her to rest, she'd pled with me, when your strength's regained, and now she has the time to rest. My strength returned as she grew weak and withered like the fall-ripe, over-ripened stalks of corn that shrivel in the hoar frost grip, and she spit blood. I let Doc Wallace know across the valley. Doc Wallace let me know a month before she left for her sweet rest, with flowers planted near her breast, and all her sons and daughters come to pay respects for love that's overdrawn. The house was quiet all last year, for you had no pups last spring, old Meg. I was too weak to tread the hills and hunt the birds and deer. I know I'd not make it back this year. I reckon you two've reached your age when hunting is too much for your old heart and legs. So sorry, Meg, not this fall. But the hunt is all that you were born for. I had a missus home last fall, so giving up the sport should not have been too hard or too much for me to do if I'd had a lick of sense. Now your days of bearing pups are through. You languish by the hearth. With twitching legs you dream of pups and pouncing rabbits to the earth. The only whimper you've the strength to plead is flickered in your eyes. You slightly shuddered as you stretched a paw to scratch the kitchen door this dawn, when the first frost broke and the hunt's instinct arose. Wearily you raised your head as if to plead, just this one last fall. Perhaps there's nothing left to lose. Our health is gone, and loved ones, we're alone. I reckon all we have's the hunt. To give that up's to stop, to not go on. For us, I reckon, our only way is to tread the hills with powder pouch and shotgun at our sides till we lay down on our thicket beds to await the thawing spring.